So I normally do an intro, but if I did an intro this time, I wouldn't have much to say during the video itself, so we're just jumping right into it. Hello, hi, welcome. Today we are doing close-up shots. Why? Because I think they're a bit more difficult than people realize. Look, I didn't think much of it myself until I started doing a close-up shot of a face, and I realized that I was struggling to figure out the framing. And since I've been struggling with the original video I wanted to get out this month, I thought, hey, why not try this? Besides a lot of other things people already talked about, but I don't hear too many people talk about close-up framing. So part of me still kind of doubts this is going to be much of a challenge, so I decided to do other things amongst the drawings just to make it a little bit more entertaining. So for this first one, I'm doing a firefly drawing because it's summer and I'm feeling nostalgic to the time when I became kind of obsessed with fireflies. I think it started back when we were taking care of a friend's dog, and that dog loved to chase lasers. Like, if you use a laser pointer, it would chase that laser all over the place. And I was like, imagine if there was a bug like this. And then my sister pointed out that's basically a firefly. And then at that moment, I realized I've never seen a firefly in real life, and then I kind of started just researching them and just going crazy over them. I got quite a few drawings revolving around fireflies, and yes, at the time, my favorite song was Fireflies by Owl City. And honestly, I still love them, and I still wish to see one, because in California we do not have them. And I was at first just going to draw a random kid, but then I decided to draw my OC Toby because he grew up around fireflies. So here we have little baby Toby, which unless you follow me on Instagram, you probably don't know much about him. And if you do follow me on Instagram, you still didn't know that he grew up around fireflies, because that's a fact that I created while making this video. Now, what I do think is a little hard when it comes to these close-up shots is not making it uncomfortable because they're like right in your face. Also, making him cross-eyed was a bit of a challenge in not making it look too wonky. But I had fun making the bug, which I realized I made too big. I was using these close-up references for how the firefly looks, but then I was like, wait a second, how big are these actually? And then I found the comparison to a hand. It's like the top part of your pinky. So I shrunk it down a bit, probably still a little bit big, but I chalked it up to him being a young child, so it's going to be bigger to him than it would a full-on adult. Also, surprise, surprise, if you zoom in on something, more details are shown, so I noticed myself putting more details into it to look more finished. Another challenging thing is my decision to use Toby for the drawing because he has darker hair and darker eyes, which are not usually the best when you are working with a darker atmosphere, but I think it worked out rather well. Now, immediately starting this drawing, I'm already noticing something seemingly off, so I sent it to my siblings, and of course the first one that responds is the non-artist one, my younger sister, and she replies to make it look better, so this is why you're now watching me Google Big Yoshi and put him on the picture. There it is in all its glory. It is now perfection. Then I got a reply from my older sister, and she suggests that I should shrink down the head, which I agreed. But we also discussed how you could probably get away with a little bit of bobblehead because children look like bobbleheads. So I continued on, and this character is going to be a younger version of my other OC, Marie, which you can actually know her story if you go over to my video, Marie's Sanctuary. But as I continued on, the pose still felt awkward to me, and I got a reply from my friend who I also asked to give advice, and she says the pose felt a little awkward. And then I decided to lay down in front of a mirror and try to replicate the pose, and I started realizing how it was basically impossible to do that pose, at least impossible to do that pose in a comfortable way that feels normal. So I re-laid down and tried to see what it would look like, and I think my main problem is that the arms weren't folding into each other, they're kind of laying. I don't know how to explain it, it just looks so off. So I fixed that, it looked a lot better. Not necessarily perfect, but better, and I was getting really tired already. Also, I feel like I kind of failed with this one in trying to get a close-up shot because yes, it is close, but it's not like entering that close area that is a challenge of making it comfortable to be that close to them. But this drawing did give me another set of challenges, like with the background. I don't necessarily struggle with backgrounds. In fact, I usually mostly enjoy them, but this just felt off, especially probably because of the perspective. Oh yeah, the thing that also led to me doing this drawing is because when I asked my friend what I should draw, she said I should draw flowers, and while this is probably not the best way to show flowers, it still gave me a drawing to create for this video, so I appreciate it, thank you. Which something that I'm noticing with all these drawings is that they're giving off major summer, or technically this one's closer to spring, but it's like summer vibes. I don't know why I'm so in tune with summer right now, especially since I don't really like the heat and I just want autumn to be here already. Okay, that's not entirely true. I do know why I am in the summer mood is because it's making me feel nostalgic. I literally have a playlist called Memories and it just takes me back in time. I don't know why summer makes me feel so nostalgic. My main guess it could be because a lot of things happened during the summer. A lot of these memories coming to my mind happened during this time, and it just kind of makes me both like glad that they've happened and I can look back on them and love those moments, but it also makes me sad because they're gone. So I am also trying to lean away from looking back and thinking back, because while it does make me feel good thinking about those great times, I also am trying to remember that there are good things that happen now that will also eventually turn into memory, and so I should appreciate them while I have them. This sounds like it's getting a little too personal. I don't know if I want to keep talking about this. Can we make this a two-way conversation, please? Whenever you're driving, do you ever hear a sound and then think the car is going to blow up? Anyways, here's the end drawing. Oh crap, no. There you go. I don't know what happened there. But here it is. I think it's not bad. It's nice. Now last but certainly not least, we have Frog. The cute frog. I have never drawn a frog before, so I was kind of excited to do this. What inspired this one was specifically that little made-up song from a bunch of people, Shy Little Frog, from The Creaking of a Frog. Now this frog doesn't look anything like that frog, but whatever. And if you've never seen that video, you should go find it. It is super cute, and I do have a rendition of that on my Amazon Music, because I do think it's really cute and I love it. I was debating whether or not to make this another one of my OCs, but the ultimate reason why I didn't end up going with that, because she has darker skin and it would be a lot harder with the values, which was my main struggle with this drawing. Which I was debating it all the way to the point of the coloring, whether or not I should make it my OC. Ultimately, I ended up just going with a redhead, which was the original idea I had in my head, but because I was turning a lot of the other ones into my OCs, I thought like I should do the same thing here. Which is kind of funny how I'm all like, here's an OC, even though you don't know them really yet. If you want me to talk about them, like make a video separate about them, I wouldn't mind doing that. Now, something I did with this one that I originally wanted to do with the other ones, but I just kept forgetting, which was using Clip Studio Paint's recording. I was thinking about just using it for the line art, because line art can get very going in and out and get really dizzy. But would you guys prefer if I just did it all the time, like for the entire process? It would probably be better because I don't always have very much to say, so I would tend to have to speed up the video more, but if I do it too much, then it gets really dizzy. If you've noticed, I was going to go with like a blue eye because that's a really fun combination with red hair, but because it's such a popular combination, I'm like, no, I'm gonna do something else, and I eventually settled with like a hazel, or it's more yellow. But you know what? If you have eyes to see, let them see. That's scripture, right? Or is it only if you have ears to hear, let them hear? But I feel like it's eyes. Anyway, here is the final product of this one. And here is the final. Oh my gosh, what are you doing here? Okay, here is the final of all of them. I hope you like them. Let me know which one's your favorite. And if you ever feel like the car's going to blow up when it makes a weird sound.